Kia ora koutou, nau mai haere mai, ki ngā Poutama Matawhenua. Ko Dwayne tēnei. So this is what we're going to be creating today, is looking at using a 2D web map to create a land block map and also to select out some parcels of interest. And here is something that I'm about to show you how to create. Adding in Māori Land Court blocks, Linz property titles for all of Aotearoa, Linz primary parcels, which are the underlying line work. In this case, we've added a query to the primary parcels to only show those that are that have a statutory action applied to them, which is useful in terms of treaty settlements and other activities. And we've also added in DOC public conservation land. So now we're going to show you how to create this map. Okay, so starting from the beginning, we need a new map to begin with. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to save this map so that I know what I'm doing with this one. I'm going to call this a land blocks investigation map. 1. Add tags land blocks, summary, an example map working with land blocks, and save. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is change the base map. I'm going to go for imagery hybrid, which is the satellite imagery with labels over the top, just like this, bit of place name information. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to search for layers to add to my map. So I'm going to search for layers, not in my content, but in ArcGIS Online. I'm going to search for first Māori Land Court. And here I can see Māori Land Court by this character here. Looks like it's been updated. If I click this heading here, get some pop-out information. Oh, and I see this is Māori Land Spatial Dataset. There's information linking back to Māori Land Court, where it's from. Okay, that looks okay. I'm going to always want to consult with the source of the truth of the data, which of course is the Māori Land Court Online. But I'm going to add that to my map. And here we go. So the red blocks are all the Māori Land Court blocks, and if I click on one, always clicking random ones, here we've got the block ID, the block name, the title order, when it was ordered, the area of the block looks like 133 hectares, could be acres, can work that out. Minute book reference, total shares, number of owners, and importantly ML 1876, Māori Land Plan number 1876, not the year. You can see there's the year and date. This is a reference number. And it's in Māori Land Court District Aotea. Here is that link again to Māori Land Court, and I can get the authoritative information about that block. Okay, let's press details to hide away that. The next thing I want is I also want all of the other title information for all of the gaps. So if I'm going to pick somewhere else today. Let's go up north. Why not? Okay, zoom in a fraction. We've got some Māori land blocks coming up. Okay, next I want to add the titles from Linz, authoritative data from Linz. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to type in here Linz titles. Linz property titles. Yep, base data NZ. That's actually Linz. Linz property titles by Canterbury Maps. Okay, I don't want Canterbury maps because it's probably just going to apply to Canterbury region. Base.nz, primary parcels, and I can see the Canterbury maps have also republished that one, so I don't want that one. Whoops. Let's see here. You'll see there's many other layers here, but the one that I want is from base data NZ. Linz property titles, if I add that, it's going to add to my map as a blue layer. And let's say primary parcels. So primary parcels are the building blocks. So there will be complete coverage for parcels, for the parcels layer for all of Aotearoa. For titles, not every parcel has a title. There we go. And a title can, as I understand, be made up of one or more titles. And you can see this little icon here tells me that not everything is drawn, because this is a lot of data for me to ask of the map service to pull down. So now I go back to details and I go to content, and I want to turn off some of these layers here. And I can see the computer is working hard, so I'm going to turn that off, and then I'm going to turn that one off. Tick, tick. And so what I'm going to do is zoom down somewhere a bit closer. Rua peka peka, that would be interesting. Pepe-wai. A bit of cloud on the image that day. Let's go and have a look in here. No particular reason again. As we zoom down, you can see the detail through the aerial photography becomes more available. Okay, and I can click on this and I can get information about that because I know it's Māori land there. If I tick on property titles, it's going to give me one of 4 there. So if I click through here, it's also telling me other information about this block there, and possibly related ones. Let's say I wanted to find out what is this land block, or what is this parcel here, this title. So that may not be an easy one to use. Let's go the other side, this side. So I want to filter, I only want that parcel from that whole layer, which has got about 2 million in there. I want to do a query based on just that one. So the title number, title underscore number is 368622. I'm going to select it and copy it. That's the one I want. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to turn it off. This is a little trick that I've picked up. And I'm going to go copy. So this is my copy. And I'm going to do what's called a query. So I'm going to say, and you remember what name of that field was? It was title underscore number is the number that I've got on my clipboard. Apply filter. Now when I turn that one on, it's only going to be that one block. If I zoom out just to show you, nothing else. And it's going to draw quite quickly because it's just asking for a very small piece of information. Now I can change the symbology of that if I want to as well. Rather than being blue, I could go, okay, click on here. Don't fill it because that's the area that I want to see. Just do an outline and let's go for a bright pink outline. And there we go. And let's see. So I've got that same level of same details there, but just that one block. Now, let's say we turn that one off, turn this one on, and I also want to include this block in my layer now as well, my pink layer, shall we call it. let's go and find the title number, and I double check at the top here to make sure there's only one selected, or that I've got the right one. I copy that, I close it, I turn that off, I come over here, click on this one, I go and look at my query, my selection, and then I'm going to edit my filter, add another expression. There's my first one, and here is my second one. Title number is that. Apply filter, and then turn it on. And it didn't work. Oh my goodness, fail. Okay, let's go and figure out what's going on here. All of these expressions must be true. It must be that and that. No, that's wrong. So display features in the layer that match all of the... No, we don't want it. Display features in the layer that match any of the following expressions. See, we're super reality here. Okay, come on now. I'm going to draw this time. Don't shame me. Okay, so here we go. We've got, of all 3 million plus parcels in that layer, we've just got the 2 that we're interested in. Let's do that one more time, because this is quite a useful skill. Let's say we want to also include random again, this one. I've got 2 property titles there. There's this big area that I can see just highlighted when I went there, and I'm going to go back. And it's just this one, whatever that one is there, I know. Let's go, click there. What is that one? And what is that one? It gets a bigger one. I don't want that. I want this one. Copy that reference, title number. Close it. Turn it off. Get it out of the way. Go into the query. Any of these expressions must be true. Title number is this or this, and we're going to add a third one. Edit. We're going to go add another expression. Title number is that. Paste. Control V. Apply filter. Turn on the layer. I can actually leave the layer turned on if I want. Done. It's going to filter out just those 3. Let's have a look at what's going on here. If I look on this table, it's telling me that there are 3 features. None are selected. If I click that one, 1 is selected. There we go, we can do this. So I can get all that information on there. Now I can also rename this. Let's go here. Property titles. Titles of interest. What an awesome title. Okay. And you can see here titles of interest, titles of interest. These were random ones, of course. I go save. And just in case the power goes off or this computer dies, I can open this again at any time and continue adding to my query if I wanted to. I can turn on Māori Land Blocks right next door there. And I can see there, I can change the colors if I want. I can add labels and things. So let's have a look at a bit of that. Coming down here. Zoom to. We're zoomed to. Okay. Transparency. We don't need transparency because we've unfilled the holes in the middle of the blocks. We want that to be visible everywhere, regardless of what level of zoom. So if we zoom way out, it's still going to be there. We don't want to hide it in legend. If we get sick of it, we can remove it. We can configure the pop-up, so we can change the pop-up if we want to. And here, this is a bit advanced, but we'll do that in the future. We can create labels. Now this is useful. It's going to add labels. Now we don't want to use the ID field. We want to use the title number field. And we'll go black and we'll turn on this little halo box here. Now remember, this is being recorded, so you can come back and you can watch this again. Go OK. There's our 3 parcels and they're labeled. Okay. Let's have a look. What else can we do here? Manage labels. We can turn them off again if we want. That's probably all we need to do there. Now, let's say I wanted to draw a couple of marks on there, a couple of pins. Then what I can do is I can search for layers. I can go on My Layers. If I've got an existing map notes that I want to use, I could use that. Let's say I wanted to see if I can find, and this is something I wasn't planning to do, but I think could be useful, is conservation areas, for example. And here we go, Doc Public Conservation Land by Doc Admin. If I click on here, okay, this layer looks legitimate. It's been recently updated. What's that, a month or two ago, which is pretty good. It's describing all the various metadata details about it. Hey, let's add it to the map and see what happens. Go to details, content, that's turned on, let's zoom out a fraction. And here we can see, here are the nearest dock protected areas. We can click on each of these and we can get information, such as the number, that looks like number of meters, recorded area in hectares, name, and legislation and such. Let's turn that off. Let's say we wanted to share this. So we press save, go share, and at the moment it's private only to me. If I had a organizational account and I was working with others, there would be another option here to share with my organization. But this is on my private free account, so I have the choice of either keeping it private to me or making it public. And because there's no particular secrets in here, nothing I'm not concerned about sharing, I'm going to make it public, share the current map extent, copy that link, and go done. Now if I come over here to a logged out window and go paste, cross my fingers, it's going to come up there. And so this is how you would see it. And I can see here is that those layers and those queries. And it's made because these layers are already public, because I could add them to my map, all I've done is I put a query on them. Okay. That was very quick, but remember you can watch it again. Reasonably advanced too. What did we do? Number one, we changed the base map. Number two, we went and did a search for Māori Land Court blocks. We also went and did a search using the add search for layers and then searching for layers in ArcGIS Online. We went and found the Linz property titles and the Linz primary parcels. We went titles of interest. We made queries, we renamed that layer, it only shows the ones that we want, we added labels to it. And then as a last thing there, we went doc conservation land. Okay, that's what I wanted to show you. One bonus for those of you who are interested is we can come onto primary parcels, and I know that there is statutory actions. And I can go statutory actions is not blank. Apply filter, turn that on. Now all of these will have a flag against them as a statutory action. And this is where you can identify a lot of treaty settlements and other returns. And of course you can have a look at the table in the bottom here as well. And you can see that there are 199,000 features. if I come over here, and I know in this layer there are at least 2 or 3 million, so it has selected out. And you remember when we first added it, the entire thing was blue? This is just a selection because we've done another query. Okay, that was a bonus for you. Okay, that's us for now. Until next time. He kona mai, mā te wā ka kite anō.